Welcome back to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, empowering the good, and we love talking about the American Heart Association and the Mid-South chapter. We're honored to be joined by Michael Hooks. He's the 2023 Hard Hats with Heart Chair. He's Allworld Project Management founder and CEO. We also have Andy Davis, Vice President and General Manager with Turner Construction, board member and past chair of Hard Hats with Heart as well. How are you two guys doing?
Doing wonderful.
Great.
Let's start. Andy, on your end, give us some background for the American Heart Association.
Yeah, a lot of folks may be familiar with the American Heart, but as a world leader when it comes to first aid, CPR, and training, and the American Heart Association helps educate and equip more than 22 million individuals globally each year. Thanks to the movement of things like what we're going to talk about today and other events that go on through the year, we're able to raise millions of dollars in our community. $2.1 million goes to research here just in the Mid-South. To organizations like UT Health Sciences and the University of Memphis. So these things are making a difference in those research labs, and that's what American Heart is about, is also giving back and making sure that we're moving forward with cardiovascular health and trying to solve some of the challenges that are associated with that.
Absolutely. And so for each one of you, you obviously have a personal storyline in terms of why you're a part of this. Andy, let's stay on for you, being a board member as well and past chair, obviously. Give us some of your background and why you're involved with the American Heart Association.
Yeah, I was asked by Michael Uwicki at Methodist to be a part of the Heart Walk. I'd been involved in Heart Walk events in the past, but as actually raising some money in 2019 and being able to lead that got me engaged. For me, that year was a tough year because my father passed away of a massive heart attack in 2019 on June the 16th. And as we were going through that, I just realized that I needed to do some things differently. I've actually lost 80 pounds in the last few years. I've made an effort for myself, but I got engaged in the Heart Walk or the Heart Association here in Memphis specifically, and realized that there was challenges in the construction industry. And so got on the board and have been able to just continue to see the impact that the Heart Association makes in our community every day. And it's exciting to be a part of an association that does so much in our community.
Absolutely. Before we talk about Hard Hats with Heart, Michael, go ahead and share some of your personal storyline and why you decided to get involved with the American Heart Association.
First of all, particular to this event, Hard Hats with Heart, anytime good people like Andy Davis and Chief Doug McGowan ask you to follow in their footsteps, you got to step up to the challenge. So when they asked me to lead like they've led, certainly, I was tugged into service, and just based on my passion, this allows me to drive into a cause that addresses cardiovascular disease that has personally affected me. I saw both my maternal and paternal grandparents suffer with heart disease. And as the statistics indicate, particularly in the Black community, me being a 48-year-old Black male, the more awareness I can bring to a preventative disease, that we can definitely curb the devastating statistical impact it has on our community, I'm down for the cause.
Let's dive in. And so when you talk about what it means, the program overall, Hard Hats with Heart, go ahead and describe that program.
The importance of Hard Hats with Heart is even more significant in the construction community, in industrial careers, physically and mentally demanding careers with long hours and strenuous activity with limited access to healthy food options. Creates, once again, a disproportionate prevalence of cardiovascular disease. So the initiative is to engage these workers and citizens for healthier lifestyles. That's the goal of Hard Hats with Heart. to end and curb heart disease and stroke, particularly strokes in the construction trades, by providing resources, education, and inspiration. Last year when I attended the event, a lot of the momentum is the camaraderie to see like-minded folks that sometimes are even competitors in the same room for the same cause. So this is a nationwide movement to increase wellness throughout the industry.
So obviously a nationwide movement with a local focus and impact on our end. And so, Andy, what would you add to that in terms of goals, importance, impact? What would you add to that?
Yeah, when we first started talking about this, and I was the past chair of this, and Michael's got the honor. He's going to take it on farther and greater than I was able to do. I have no doubt about that. But when we started having the discussion, we talked about the number of individuals that were in the community. And like I said, Michael Uwicki with Methodist asked me to be a part of the Heart Walk. When we started looking to see who was engaged, there wasn't many construction companies that were involved in that. There wasn't folks that were out there walking. It didn't matter if it was a trade contractor, a general contractor, architects, designers, anybody that was in our building industry. There wasn't as many folks going to the Heart Walk. Why we asked the question says, well, what's going on? What we realized that a lot of the employers in our community maybe aren't aware of what American Heart can bring to them. If there's 30,000 roughly workers that are in the construction trades out there every single day in our communities, from those that are maintaining our apartment buildings to those that are picking up a hammer and putting up a wood structure, to those that are laying concrete or working on our HVAC units at our house. All those individuals that are out there doing that work are a lot of times just really busy with what they've got going on. And so we needed to create more awareness. And I think that's one of the things that we really focused around earlier was how do we create more awareness to let these resources like first aid, CPR training, AED training, all those things that American Heart can do to all these employers. And the best way to do it is to create an event like American Heart, hard hats for heart. And I think that is really at the core of what we're trying to do. It's raising some money. It brings our community, our building industry together one time a year for a great event to do some things. But at the end of the day, we're bringing awareness. And I can tell you personally, we know on some of our jobs that we've done job screenings where we've had a nurse or somebody come out, do a meet and greet with each individual that was on the site that was wanting to take that chance just to have an interaction. Well, they do their, check their blood pressure, do all those things. There was a gentleman that actually was in a high rate of heart rate. And they told him and said, you need to get to the hospital. He went to the hospital and they ended up doing some surgery with him within 24 hours after that to deal with what he was dealing with. Sometimes our folks are out there and they're just thinking, I'm just having a hard day. I'm dealing with what I'm dealing. I got to get the job done. And so we need to be more aware of what is going on with our workers and help to move them forward with this.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael, let's bounce back to you. You mentioned on your end, a lot of times they don't necessarily have the ability to go and eat healthy. I mean, there's a lot of strenuous, pieces to that, time poverty. When you look at the construction industry and some of the things that you see from your vantage point, talk about those challenges, but talk about the opportunities, just like Andy alluded to really step in and pour in with the inspiration, but the support network and the support resources.
Oh, absolutely. 1 in 4 construction workers are overweight or obese. Like I said, they lack physical activity, even though they're working all day. Cardiovascular activity, they're lacking. Typically, the statistics go on and on. But I appreciate the opportunity to talk about the preventive measures. One of the things that the American Heart Association pushes is 7 steps for healthier lifestyle. And it's real simple. Stop smoking, eat smart, move more, lose weight, manage blood pressure, control cholesterol, and reduce blood sugar. So through, once again, the collection of these individuals who know each other and have similar lifestyles come together and educate one another and hold each other accountable, so they can live longer, take care of their families, and be around to see their loved ones.
Andy, go back to what you said before about losing 80 pounds. I mean, that's huge. Congratulations on that. What has that meant for you in terms of your lifestyle, your energy level, your ability to do more, perform at a higher level? What has that meant for you?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, our industry is a high stress job. Projects need to be done. There's not too many clients, and even old Doug McGowan had a little bit of fun with us when we were building a project for him, and it was like, and we got to get the work done, right? And even though our folks are out there, if I lose 80 pounds, it helps with reducing a little bit of that stress because I learned how to eat better. I learned how to exercise. I learned how to do some other things that needed to help me reduce that level of stress that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I think for me, the most impactful is that energy that I did pick up, that I realized that I didn't have when I was carrying around those extra pounds. But my cholesterol levels dropped. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that have just been a positive with that weight loss. But I think about the people that are out there in the field and, how do they end up ultimately getting that same opportunity and being able to do it. And it takes us helping to educate them and helping to bring an awareness around really what's out there as tools that can help them think through that.
Yeah. And for both of you, setting the example. I mean, I think just like you're talking about, but it's one thing to say, it's another to put it into action and lead through example. And I think that's a big part of what both of you were talking about too, which is inspiring, but that's how we move the needle forward together. And so you've both been alluding to an event, a culminating event. And so go ahead and talk about the event. Michael, go ahead and tease us with the event.
Oh, definitely. We are excited about the upcoming event. It's actually in August, but it'll be here sooner than later. So we want to spread the news. Ironically, it's at the Mid-South Entertainment Complex, which is also known as the Fairgrounds Youth Center at Liberty Park, now renamed Liberty Park. Andy Davis and his great team at Turner Construction were the construction managers. Allworld Project Management and our joint venture partner, the Esty, were the owners' reps, and many of the other participants participated in this pivotal project, which is not only just going to house young men and women in the athletic communities, but be an economic development engine for our community for years to come. Millions of visitors annually will participate at this great brick and mortar structure. So we're encouraging all through this event to take action and prioritize cardiovascular health in the workplace.
Andy, what would you add to that?
These events are always great. If you're in the construction industry, I tell you, it is just great to get together with others. And we have owners because there's a lot of owners that are out there that build a lot of things on a routine basis. We couldn't do it without their ability to. I mean, the Carlisle Corporation, who did one bill, they were big contributors of a hard hat in previous years, and I'm sure they'll be there again this year. We are excited when we have owners, architects, contractors, trade partners there together, just talking about this awareness that we need to with those 30,000 individuals. And I think that's really what I just get excited about.
Yeah. And that's such a big number, 30,000, when you look at, the industry and obviously ever expanding and growing, which is exciting, but that's an opportunity for us to really help. So talk about where we can go to take those next steps, to learn more, to get involved with the American Heart Association Mid-South chapter. So where do we go to start plugging in and learning more?
I think right now you can reach out to myself or Michael and our committee of individuals that are helping to really get the folks attracted. You can reach directly out to the Heart Association here in the Mid-South, and they can provide that information. We do not have a website right now that is publicly put up there. The best way is just to do that, and we would love to connect with you if you are interested in being a part of that.
The general website is heart.org, but give us your email, or preferred when you say, hey, reach out and we'll get you plugged in. Go ahead and tell us where to reach out. So give us your email, and where would you encourage us to reach out to you?
901-881-2985. And you can also reach me through email at info, I-N-F-O, at allworldmail.com. And that's ALLWORLDMAIL.com. Thank you.
Yeah. Andy, what about you?
Yeah, if you want to reach out to me, just shoot me an email, adavis@tcco.com. That's tomcatcatoscar.com.
Makes it easy. Once again, the general website for the American Heart Association, the Mid-South, is heart.org. That's an easy place to learn more about all the resources and efforts and everything with the American Heart Association Mid-South. But the initiative, once again, Hard Hats with Heart is the program, and definitely greatly appreciate Michael, you and Andy coming on the show. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for being a guest on the show.
Thank you.